Hey everybody, I'm Janetta O'Neill and I'm the proud owner of the Bomax Ranch and Retreat. We're located in Crawfordville, Georgia, just minutes away from Atlanta. We're a family-friendly campground and we would love to host you for any small or large gathering that you have in mind. It's welcoming for anyone who loves being outdoors.
Sponsored by MIDLAND Communication for Every Adventure, the industry leader in radio communication technology and innovation for over 50 years. Sponsored by MYMEDIC. Sponsored by TEMBO TUSK. Sponsored by Trail Rated Coffee Company. Sponsored by CK Knife and Tool.
Always remember, the opinion you follow should be your own. Just consider the things stated here to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online.
I did not grow up camping, or we traveled, but we did not go camping. My father was an avid deer hunter, and he would go on trips where he went deer hunting, and sometimes there would be overnight trips, but as a family, no, we did not do that. And I can remember after moving to Georgia, going camping at a state park and really having a good time and enjoying it, and telling my mother about my experience because I was the kid that wanted to camp growing up. And I remember asking, can I just pitch a tent outside in the backyard? And her answer to that was no. So to camp as an adult and tell her that, I was just so excited. I can remember her response, well, good for you, you know? And so, but yeah, I love camping. I'm a speech language pathologist. I started out working with the babies from birth to 3, and I worked in the school setting. So I worked with anyone from pre-K through high school, actually. Then I started doing some big babies in the nursing homes, and now I work in the hospital setting. And primarily I work with neurologically impaired patients who have swallowing deficits because of stroke or Parkinson's, some of those things that a lot of people either have gone through themselves or their loved ones have experienced. So teaching them how to swallow is what I do. Sometimes it's just modifying a diet, or it's maneuvers so that when they swallow, they can do so safely and things don't end up into their airways or their lungs and they don't develop pneumonia. And I love that. It's been a very rewarding career. I started in 1996 and I'm still doing that currently. I love it. And I also have a carriage business on the side. I love horses, and I just thought, how can I marry what I love and make some money? And so we have a Cinderella carriage, which is the one that everybody likes to feel like a princess when they ride in the carriage. And we also have the vis-a-vis. It's a convertible top, so it can be up or down, but you sit face to face, and that's what vis-a-vis means. We also have a hearse. So I just think that's a majestic way to be carried out, you know. So we tease in the industry and say we can give you a ride if you're hot or cold. The Bomax came about after thinking about my family. I lost my dad, and my mother was ill when I purchased the property. And I told her about this property, and how amazing it was. And I said, I'm going to name some of the roads after you and after Daddy. And, and I just was just trying to give her some insight. And she understood, but she was very ill at the time. So she never had the opportunity to come see it. I decided to name the property the Bomax after my mother and my father. My father's name was Bentley. Our last name is O'Neill. And my mother's name was Maxine. So when you put it together, you get the Bomax Ranch and Retreat. And it's just a wonderful way for me to honor and remember them. And their names will forever carry on. I don't have kids, but my nephews have kids. And so it's a place where the kids can come out and they can see the campground and the signs of the roads and say, who was Bentley? I see Bentley Lane. And then my nephew can say, oh, that was your great grandfather. So I just think it's a great way to establish legacy. Let me tell you how I acquired it. Because in the beginning, I don't think there were challenges. I can remember this like it happened yesterday. I was just finishing up feeding the horses. And a friend of mine was over at the time. And we were just sitting out, relaxing. It was a great day to be outside. And I was scrolling on my phone, and this property was for sale. And I looked at her and I said, do you think I ought to inquire about this? And she said, oh, you have to. I called, I spoke with the owner, I made arrangements to come see the property, and lo and behold, here we are. So in the beginning, there wasn't a hurdle. It just really fell into my lap, so to speak. I still keep in touch with the gentleman who I purchased the property from. And whenever I do little things to improve the property, I like to give him an update because I really wanted him to feel like he sold the property to the right person, someone who would appreciate what he had done to the property even. And so I remember his response was, so I sent him a text and I said, I just wanted to make you proud. And he said, kiddo, you did that a long time ago. So that meant a lot to me because at the time, I was still dealing with losing my dad. And that was just something that my dad would have said, I'm sorry. I still get worked up. My dad would have loved this place. Being an outdoorsman, hunting, always hunting on someone else's property, to go from that to hunting on your own daughter's property. I just have to believe that his spirit is here. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to get a napkin or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
Every single person that I have talked to
Really?
is so behind. They want you to succeed.
Yeah.
So
That means so much. Because that is the thing. You don't know what you don't know. Starting the campground and doing what needs to be done, no problem. We get out here and we work, running tractors, digging trenches, putting in roads or putting in power, water, and sewer. The community has been so supportive here in Crawfordville, as far as helping with the permitting process and just welcoming us to the community, period. Because when I came to Crawfordville, I didn't see a lot of industry. So if we could give back to this community with jobs and employing people from this community, that's all I want to do. is to give back because they have been so accommodating and welcoming to me. So when you think about hurdles, none of that has been an issue. But getting out there, and I'm not savvy with social media. I'm learning Facebook and Instagram, and so I try to keep young people around me because they know it so well. And I tease them and I tell them, most of my family is gone, so you now are my family. And they are just welcoming and they're so helpful and they want to be a part of it. I think they feel it. Like, this is just, I don't know, I can't explain it to people. And if you don't like being outdoors, you probably wouldn't get it, but it's magical. I promise you. The water, the well water that comes from the earth, I think it's healing. We had a yoga session out here one time, and everyone was in a circle, and I'd never done yoga before. I had no clue what I was signing up for, but it was the most amazing experience. And I promise you, the yoga instructor was speaking, and the trees were moving in cadence with her voice, and everybody paid attention to that. And the yoga instructor said to me, "That's your ancestors talking to you." I said, "I believe that." I'm never afraid when I'm out here. I've come out here on numerous occasions, working, of course. I'll walk through the woods. I'm up front cutting grass. But it's such a peaceful and serene space. I don't know. There again, I can't explain it, but I love it. It's hard for me to leave when I have to leave and go home. First timers. Let's start there. I get a lot of, "I'm not sleeping outdoors. I don't do the outside." I get lots of that. And so my response to them is, you don't have to. Camping is so much more than just tents. You've got overlanders that have these amazing living spaces either attached to their vehicles. We offer the bungalow that sleeps 2 people comfortably. It has a bedroom, a full bathroom, a kitchenette, a sitting room. We've got Wi-Fi, so you can watch everything that you have access to, like Netflix or, all that streaming stuff. We have travel trailers, either on site here or, you can bring your own. So I said all of that to say, you've got lots of creature comforts when you go camping, either here or other places, So I think they're pleasantly surprised when they come. When they can get a nice hot shower, that's usually what I hear. "Oh my God, that shower was amazing." Or a night's sleep on a memory foam mattress in the bungalow. "Oh, I slept so well last night." So it really isn't as primitive as people think. Now, we do have those accommodations for people who enjoy primitive style camping, who are totally self-sufficient. They just want the space. And so I think everyone walks away with a new perspective. This wasn't as bad as I thought. I want to do this again. So I encourage anybody to at least try camping one time. I can answer that. Lamb chops, love them. Oh my God, I make an amazing lamb chop. I can't tell you my secret. You just have to come and try it. But, I think lamb chops are camp friendly because it's like the little lollipops. You can walk around with them, So that would be my go-to meal. The one that I would try to impress you with would definitely be lamb chops. Being from Florida, I grew up, going to the beach. We did that a lot. But I didn't like particularly getting bit by jellyfish. I didn't like the sand between my toes. I wanted to come away clean. So although the beach is nice and it's relaxing with the sound of the waves, It's just not my thing. I truly enjoy camping. It's nothing like, waking up to that morning crisp air, going out for a hike. I think you breathe better. Your lungs can expand better. I just enjoy camping. I also ride horses, so sometimes I camp with my horses. So that's doing two things that I love together, and so we may do a 15, 20-mile run, with the horses and put them back. They're doing good, feeling good. It's nothing like sitting around that campfire, relaxing and enjoying a good meal. I have always been the type of person to extend myself and help others, but I've always been that person to be reluctant to accept help. I'm learning now that not only is it okay to accept help, but it's okay to ask for help. Starting any kind of business is a huge undertaking, and you don't know everything. Henry Ford, and I can't say it exactly the way he did, but I can paraphrase it. I may not know everything that I need to know to operate a campground, but I'm smart enough to know that I need to surround myself with people who do. I've had a lot of people extend help to me, and usually my automatic response is, I'm okay, I got it, thank you. But as we get older, our minds tell us, oh, we can do this, this, and this, and our body says something totally different. So what I wish I would have known earlier was that it's okay to accept and ask for help. I acquired this quilt from my mother, who had it. I'm not sure how long she had it, but I assume somewhere, she and my dad had been married for 52 years before my dad died. So somewhere in that 52 years, my grandmother had given her this quilt. My father's mother, her name was Velma, and Velma made this quilt, and she died a month after I was born. So although she met me, I have no recollection of my grandmother on my father's side. Her name was Velma Bentley, but she married a man named Burner O'Neill. So when she had my father, she named him Bentley O'Neill, paying homage to her last name, her maiden name, and then of course her, husband's last name. So this quilt is very special to me. I wanted to have that on display here. I had it packed away for a long time, and it's weird because I never knew what I wanted to do with it. It was just packed away, and it's just amazing how things unfold in life, for such a time as this. And immediately when we renovated this little store, I said that quilt has to go in this store because it's a part of everything out here that we're trying to do, which is honor and remember our ancestors. So this is Velma's hands is what I like to call it, because she hand quilted this. And although she's not here, now I have a piece of her. It's the general store because we carry things that first-time campers often forget. It could be something as simple as a toothbrush. It has been a lot of propane. But we also carry items, souvenir items. People like to have keepsakes or takeaways when they go and have a great experience. So we have those things as well. So it's partly a general store, but it also has a little kitchenette. Sometimes our campers can't get the grill going and they need a place to finish cooking their meat because their wood got wet and they couldn't start a fire, so I'll always make them available to come in and use the stove to finish off a meal, or just however we can help, because we all had to start somewhere. I didn't have it all right the first time I went camping, but that's the neat thing about camping, especially when you go and you meet new people. They become your friends, and what you may be in need of, they have it, and vice versa. So it starts a dialogue, a relationship, and you find that you come back camping years and years and years, and you always come at the same time so you can link up with those friends, and that is another neat thing about camping. So it's also nice and cool or warm when it's needed. So sometimes people aren't comfortable being outdoors day and night. And so it's kind of like a place of refuge to come catch a breather in the air conditioning, just to sit and catch your breath or relax, And then it's also a place to stay warm. If it's too cold outside, where they can kind of thaw out, and then they can go back outside to camping again. So it's that kind of space. It's a welcoming space because we want you to enjoy it and like it as much as we do. So any way we can help you, we're here. One place that's on my bucket list is the Grand Canyon. I want to see that. I want to experience it, of course, horseback, and I know that's an option. Just trying to find time to do it, to make it happen, I would love that. Knowing what I know now, I would do it all over again. I'm just that much of a camping enthusiast. Just being outdoors, I just think it's just amazing. People are less stressful for some reason outdoors. They're more relaxed. I just like to see people have a good time. We live very busy, hectic lives, and sometimes we need to de-stress. And I think this is one way to allow for that. And so to see people come here and have a good time and be happy and smiling, yes, I would do that all over again. I say that because, in the Black family, food is where the epicenter of the home took place. So you met for dinner. Everyone came to dinner. You sat down and you had dinner. You talked about your day. There was no social media, so no one sat down with their phones. Parents were engaging with their children. I can still smell aromas right now of meals that my mom would prepare for us, So when I think of food, I think of the heartbeat of the home, because for us, that's what it was like. So yeah, it's comfort, good Southern cooking. You can't beat it. I think when you start a business, you're apprehensive about anything because in your mind, you're thinking all of the things that can go wrong. The Gathering is a group that has a huge following, and they actually had to put a cap on the number of people to be invited here because we couldn't accommodate everyone. At least in my mind, we couldn't. But the thing is, everyone's fitting out here and they're having a great time and they don't feel crowded, So I'm learning how to think of everything that can go right and not everything that could go wrong. So it's great. Everyone's having a good time and they're enjoying the space, although we have over 100 people out here. what I'm gathering from the individuals is, they don't feel stacked on top of each other. So 2 days in, I'm breathing now. I'm relaxing, I still have my guard up, but I'm able to relax a little bit more so than I did at the beginning. Oh man, I feel like I have 100 new friends, because although it's not my event, I can't help but get out and talk to people because that's what I do. I'm from the South, it's Southern hospitality. I want to make sure people are good, they're comfortable. Do you need anything? If it's hot, we're passing out popsicles to everybody, We just want to make sure that, whose slogan was that? When you're here, you're like family. And that's what it is for me. Everyone who comes here, who graces us with their presence, they're like family. And that's the awesome thing about camping. You meet new friends, you see old friends. It's just an amazing experience. If I could see the future for the Bomax, I would like to see a crowded campground every weekend. I would like to see more and more people who have never been camping come out and experience it and walk away thinking, that was awesome. Come to us and we'll take care of you. All of those things that you are apprehensive about with camping, let us come and dispose all of that. Most of it is misinformation to begin with. We have creature comforts. We can make you very comfortable. We can cook good food for you. If you can't bring your own, come give us a try. And if it's not what people are saying that it is or what we're saying that it is, come prove us wrong. All right, you can find us on Instagram at BomaxRR. You can also find us on Facebook at the Bomax Ranch and Retreat. We're also on Hip Camp as Bomax Ranch and Retreat. And you can also find us on Yelp, the Bomax Ranch and Retreat. And you can also email us at info.bomaxranchandretreat@gmail.com.
Well, guys, that wraps it up. You already know what I'm going to say. Stay safe, tread lightly, and hopefully I'll see you here or on a trail soon.
You have been listening to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.